Hello, good evening everybody. I'm Riley Harvey for VCN and this is the VCN World Championships. Very happy to see so many riders on the line. This is the first event of its kind on RGT and something we're hoping to be able to carry on going out through many years to come. We're on Dirty Reiver tonight, which is a challenging circuit. Not got too much elevation on it. We're doing 2 laps. But it is gravel, so the elevation that is there will be slightly longer than you'd expect because the rolling resistance is higher. Should see a good race. See how it goes. We're going to expect the kind of normal electric start, so everybody will be winding their engines up in a few seconds, going like crazy to get off the start line as fast as is humanly possible. Races in the virtual world tend to be only about an hour in length, and you don't need to save yourself for 6-7 hour ride, and you're not really going to be racing again for a little while. As Igor Kops is the first to get off the line, and he pushes there on this tarmac section to get into the lead. We've got Richard Akers there from REAC, one of our partners that we've worked with on this event. They also do a lot of the training plans in the RGT world. And there you can see we've got Rasmus Feldbaum, Henrik Mard, Erdal, Kulias, Jeff Rooney, Guinness World Record holder, set a Guinness World Record on RGT, and Anders Ostergaard, Haggerty, the NZ Bro team. They've come over from Zwift in a big way. Gottlieb there from ECKD as Igor is just setting a good solid tempo on the front of the pack here. He's up at 7.3 watts per kilogram. Heart rate's already up at 173. I suspect Igor's had a good warm up before this event started. See, it's stringing out somewhat behind. Before we get too far into the race, we'll just drop back and have a look at who's in the field there, who's dropping back, and we can see Rasmus Feldbaum not wanting to let Igor get too far away there, and Erdal just going straight by. Got Haggerty there, Henrik Mard, Wouter Klaes, Roujon, French riders. This is being streamed live in French as well. There's a link to that on our story on Instagram and Facebook. If you prefer to listen to the French commentary, that's possible you would, rather than listening to me rumble. I see Tom Gates back there. Anderperson. Then we got Patrick Olivo, Richard Akers there, just dropping back a little bit. Still remaining in contact with this main group. Holst, James Melville, Burchick, Barnett, who put in an impressive performance in the Leuven qualifiers. As we see a rider going off the front there, and we'll just fly back up to the front and see who that is. It's Kulias for France, flying there. Dragged out Igor Kops and Rasmus Feldbaum with them. Jeff Rooney on the front of the pack, marshalling it for NZ Bro. Just going to fly back down the group a little bit and give name checks out to the guys who are not going to be in this front group now. Verchik, Barnett, and then we've got Rob Miller, David Brookhuizen, Sales, Anders back there, and we've got Hernandez, O'Farrell, Soto did very well on the qualifiers, but perhaps they had a little issue at the start there and didn't get away as they'd hoped. That's Al, and Espinosa. And then we've got LARFC and Toto Laquala there. Toto Laquala may be just covering this event. I'm not sure if they were going to race, but it does look like there's some technical issues for a couple of riders there, which is a real shame. I'm back up to the front of the race. We see Williams from NZ Bros taking the lead here. Richard Akers is tailing off the back there, down in 17th position, and looking like they're getting distanced as this front group keeps it alive. They're up at 350 watts, pushing on the front, heart rate 170. We are live and we are across all social medias, picking up your messages. So if you want to send us through a message, you want to have us focus in on a particular rider for you, or you want to check out some information, then do give us a shout. And Rooney then pushes on at the front. We have got a couple of interviews that we did with Jeff Rooney around his world record attempt, which are available on our YouTube channel if you want to get a bit more information up on Jeff Rooney and what kind of a person he is and what he likes to do in his spare time, which is ride a phenomenally large amount. He's pushing 430 watts here. Momentarily, he's dropped back down to around about 300 and just allowing the pack to get closer to him. I wonder whether he's working as a team here. I know that some of the riders were discussing previously having Discord channels running. As you see, his Williams teammate has made it across to him. Eagle Cop's wary of that. It's gone with him. Martin Jakobsen is giving a shout out for Go Denmark. And Snova Anderson there is cheering for the Danes tonight. Special shout out to Anders Breithen Ostergaard. Forgive me guys for murdering the pronunciation of all your names. Yeah, I do my best, but we've got a selection here now at 15 with 2 riders dropped off towards the back there. Anders Ostergaard is still in this pack, bouncing around in the middle, which is not too bad a place to be. Keep getting some drafting benefit. Rasmus Feldball pushes through to the front. Rasmus, very strong rider. I've covered his racing in a lot of the events on the RGT World, and a big rider, got lots of power. Hugo Cops rolls through front. And Precision Coaching just giving a shout out that the Dirty Reiver course looks awesome. And it's a good choice for this, as riders will have to think a bit more on this surface. So the rolling resistance for Dirty Reiver is different. It's one of the, well, I think it's the only track in RGT where the surface makes a difference and it changes. You go from the dirt to the tarmac. Quite a considerable difference as well. So that's what I was saying earlier on. We're up at a 7.3% slope here, but combined with the rolling resistance, it does take quite a lot more energy than you'd expect to be able to climb this. It's up 8% at the moment, and it is just a fantastic looking course. It's one of the best on RGT. It's one of the more recent ones that they've made, but just little effects like the sunlight dappling through the trees and lighting up little bits of the track as you're riding through it, it brings it all to life and makes it more realistic. It is a segment of a full Dirty Reiver gravel course that you can ride up near Kielder Reservoir. There's a Dirty Reiver event every year. Which I encourage you to have a look at, as we've got even more of a selection here. We've got 5 riders going early. We're only 4.7 kilometers into this event, and got a gap opened up to the major part of the pack. Boulanger, Haggerty, Herdal and Rasmus Falbal here, with Igor just leading the pack, leading the front. Aaron Bleakley's given a shout out for Josh Haggerty, who's a protected rider, 2-time silver at Junior Worlds Track. That's Josh Haggerty just in the back of this group now in 5th position. So I wonder if Herdal is going to sacrifice himself for Haggerty here. Herdal's the only NZ Bro rider in this front group with Haggerty. Igor Kops is just on form tonight. He's been down a lot of power, stringing this out, and you can see there the group behind dropped off now 81 meters. There's still a lot of racing to be done. My co-host is Mike Lister, and he's giving a shout out there to say that this is the hammer section now. There's a big section of climbing coming in. You crash the course and then you have a big bit of descending. Just going to drop back to see how the group behind is going. Haggerty there, pushing out 275 watts just to get himself back into the draft. Then we've got Henrik Mard, Swedish rider Jeff Rooney still there, Couliers for France, Zander, Gottlieb, Roujon, Ostergaard is in this group now. Wouterklaes, strong rider there. Jump back forward. This is a sharp hairpin section here, and the road climbs very steeply. Any moment now we're going to hit it. Langer, Elbwell. Those scenic log piles down the side of the road, they are actually there when you go to do this course in real life. I can see a moment on the front there. These NZ Bro riders have been riding the TTs. They've got a good idea of how the drafting works. Does matter a lot more on RGT than it does on the alternate platforms. Igor just opening up a little bit of a gap again. Racing strongly tonight. Heart rate's reduced slightly from that earlier section. Gradient just starting to bite once again. We're at 0.2 at the moment. You already feel like you're climbing because of the extra resistance from the gravel. Haggerty still there at the back of the group. We'll just drop back in a moment and see how much draft saving these guys are getting in the back there. Coming up to this sharp hairpin and a crushing bit of gradient on this section. Igor pushes. And we're now hit 13.7 briefly there. 17.8. Just feels like a wall. Boulanger for France there. Goes forward. Getting some shouts in for Henrik Mard and Forza Denmark. Herdal just being dropped slightly there, the NZ Bro rider, but he's back. Possibly he's just having some issues with gear changing, gear selection there. He fought to get back to the group and then just dropped off slightly again. Igor Kops is pushing. Langer's going with him. Rasmus Felbal and Haggerty not allowing him to go free just yet. Erdal manages to get back onto this group. Pace is lifted. It's flattened slightly. Getting over the top of this course. And getting onto the descent. Being the first rider there. Give you a great advantage. It's going to string it out very quickly. And if those riders at the back aren't paying enough attention, there's a good chance that they will get dropped on this section. We're only 8 kilometers into this race. Already we've selected 5 riders. Drujon is the strongest rider at the moment from the chasing group. Drujon, Williams and Rooney all working together there. That group's quite closely packed. And now we're descending. If a small gap opened up. Pops and Boulanger. Are they going to push now? Side by side. Belbal makes it back to them. Belbal puts in an effort to get back to them on this flatter section. Haggerty and Herdal still distanced. These front 3 riders not seeming to want to open it up. Igor Kops, Alan Carl's asking Igor Kops which nationality is Slovenian. Kops, Boulanger and Felbal. Still with a small gap. Haggerty's making it back. Herdal did a little bit of yo-yoing earlier on and it looks like he's going to struggle to get back at this point. Sure if Haggerty is slowed slightly to help his partner there. And Zebro's guys working together. Going to be important having numbers as the race carries on. Haggerty just slightly distanced there. This descent increases as the gradient. The descent increases, that these gaps are going to be hard to close down. They're going to have to make sure that they are really on the wheel of the riders in front of them, otherwise they will get distanced very quickly. Haggerty comes over the top of Herdal there and back to the group in front. 9.4 kilometers and they're back tight together. A very nice course to watch an event on. Dirty Reiver. See how well populated the world is, with the trees going off into the distance. That gravel surface with a raised crown. It's very much like it does in real life. The gap now massively increased to this chasing group. 560 meters. Descending flat, pulse flat. The little spikes before we start the lap again. It looks like these riders are going to stay quite tightly together. We'll just drop back to the group chasing. See how they're getting on. So Xander Person, Rooney, Couliers, Drujon, Utakles, Anders Ostergaard is in this group as well. Burchik and Henrik Mard. Also Williams of Pro there. Bro have had a very good showing in this event, but with a lot of riders forwards. Who to place puts in a little bit of an effort on this descending section. And Virchik now distanced 950 meters away from that group, and with Holst, Barnett and Melville. A group of Sales, Gakes and Olivo. Chris Bancross with back behind him. Rob Miller, Brookhusen, Soto still riding. As I say, he's not riding as rapidly as he was in the qualifiers. I wonder if he's had a technical issue off the start line. He's just riding the race out. O'Farrell, Hernandez, Al, Espinosa. So I think Richard Akers has dropped out there. Didn't see him as we drifted back. I know Richard did have an ankle injury earlier on in the week and is training for the Manchester Marathon, so I do wonder whether he's just decided that he would take the opportunity, well, not take the opportunity, but save himself for the Manchester Marathon, which he's been training for quite some time now, and not further aggravate his ankle injury with only just being able to walk again from a few days ago. Hugo Cups is putting in the effort on the front. Boulanger, Belbal, Haggerty, lightly grouped. It'll be interesting to see who makes the move first from this small pack. Igor is up near top end of his heart rate there, 168. Just coming towards a small little leg break, a little bit of elevation in the road, a little speed bump. See Kiel the reservoir off in the distance there. Just looking up in the top left hand corner of the screen there, see the power graph for the riders, and very often you'll see in that power graph you'll see some green numbers, and those are the watt savings that the riders are making by drafting the rider in front of them. Just a small descent here and then back into the elevation. It's up at 7.5. Can catch you out that little section if you've been relaxing and coasting. On that descent, and you've not changed gears. The chasing gap now down to 260 meters. This group not pushing on too strongly. Igor's eased slightly now. I don't know if he's not willing to do the pulling for the whole group for the entirety of the lap that's left, and then next lap too. Hjördal has made a bit of a move to the front there. But you see there briefly at the top left hand corner that we've got 9900 watt saving for Haggerty briefly then. That's massive. If you can get yourself positioned really well to save those watts, it can really pay later on in the race. around this head now. Another section of climbing. Gap now down to 190 meters. Haggerty rolls through. Boulanger there. And friend of the stream, Titanium Geeks, just getting in on the chat. As Igor pushes now. Igor goes once again. Puts in a big effort at this moment in time. Gerdal, Boulanger responding to it. Rasmus Feldball responds to it as well. Another little lumpy section coming up. Igor just seems to be able to open up gaps. Rasmus goes into the deep red there. The power bars underneath the rider's name show the power in reflection to their FTP. You see the power there for Haggerty going up 620, 689. Comes over the top of Boulanger to keep in contact with Igor Kops and Rasmus Feldball there. Maybe somebody's just told Igor and Rasmus that the chasing riders are closing them down. Good out distance once again, but he may be able to just get back on. David Brookers and watching the stream as well from position 25 currently. David's a fantastic rider and great sport. He takes part in the PRT handicap race every week on the Thursday nights. Come over the iconic bridge now. Pace just drops once again. Go down and round and back underneath this bridge. David, I think he's being a little bit harsh on himself. He's saying he's enjoying it from position 25. He's in this race. I'm sat on a chair talking about it. So to have got here and be racing at this level with these guys is an achievement in itself. As Haggerty is distanced slightly, Hjördal has been dropped from this group, but is pushing hard to get back in. He's up at 6.1 watts per kilogram. Haggerty just dropping slightly. I'm not sure if he's considering helping his teammate. Go back underneath that bridge now. Side of the riders from the helicopter for a moment. Hjördal gaps up to 80 meters, unless this pace slows down considerably. Hjördal's not going to get back on, and the gap has opened up now to the chase group. It was closing down, and it's down to 190 meters, and it's flown back up to 400 as Hjördal looks like he's going to catch again. This is some fantastic riding by Hjördal. He's certainly burning matches though. He's bridged back in. That's fantastic. Haggerty was at the back of the group there, and Feldball goes. Feldball just puts in a bit of a burst there. Hjördal, Haggerty, Aram. Trying to keep safety in numbers. Anderson there is just saying, what's your thoughts? Do you think the chasing group will close the gap to the front group? I think there's a good chance of that happening. They're going to start shedding riders. As they keep the pace up like this, they're going to start shedding riders from this front group, and that means there'll be less people to do the work, and they'll get slower. There's a good chase group going on behind, and they're working well together from the looks of things. I think it is possible that they're going to catch. That'd make it a really interesting race, to be honest with you. I'd really like to see that chase group catch. As Hjördal once again has been dropped. It's a 70-meter gap. Back on the tarmac now, briefly. Moment of easier pedaling for the riders. Oh. And Mike saying that the chase will probably benefit from this tarmac section more than this small group of riders. As Igor stretches it once again, he's up at 7.2 watts per kilogram. Rasmus Feldball there, I think, topped 10.2 just to get back to his wheel. And Haggerty pushes. Anders Ostergaard is on the front of the chasing group now, working with Jeff Rooney, Williams and Wouter Klaes. Igor does seem to be the person who's animating this front group. He's really pushing it constantly. Haggerty slightly distanced now. This doesn't look good for Haggerty. He's got a gap opening up to 60 meters in front of him. He's at 3.3 watts per kilogram. He's slowed considerably. He's dropped out of that group. Just dropped back to Hjördal. Hjördal still pushing to keep the pace up. The NZ Bro teammates 6th and 8th position there, and nearly back with Hjördal. Wonder if this is team tactics now for the NZ Bro guys, whether they've decided that it'd be better to wait for their teammates and go in numbers for that front group. The Henrik Mard, Williams, Couliez, and I think there's Drujon there as well. So Couliez and Drujon have got a French rider in that front group. Hjördal nearly picked up by this chasing group now as Henrik Mard takes the front. Going to run back up to the front. And Eagle Cops has opened up a massive gap again on those chasing riders. Rasmus Feldball, Boulanger are chasing him down. Seems to be consistently dropping the hammer, Igor. Boulanger drop now. It's Cops and Feldball. Feldball enjoying a massive watt bonus here. He's saving 51 watts on the wheel of Cops, sorry. And Cops pushing out 458 watts momentarily there. Feldball on his wheel. And he's hooked on. He's got that tow rope hooked up now. See Boulanger there dropping back. The gap's opened up to nearly 600 meters now to the chasing group. The speed of that group increases. They pick up Hjördal, and Haggerty's joined that group as well. Boulanger's just slightly in no man's land now. Pace Eagle, Cops and Felbal's just settled slightly. Felbal happy to sit in the wheel of Cops. 60 watt saving. Boulanger looks like he's still trying to get back to this front group of two. Encouragement coming through on the chat for Felbal. Thomas Anderson's go for it, Felbal. Felbal just having some yo-yo moments with Cops here. Cops keeping the pace steady and Felbal just seems to be dropping off the wheel slightly, not quite balancing his drafting. Alan Carl showing now that Cop seems very strong, but come on Felbal. And that gap to the chasing group's opened out once again. It's 635 meters now. Igor goes. Igor pushes 6.7 watts per kilogram. Felbal responds. He's up at 9 watts per kilogram, chasing on. Gap to Boulanger is opened up to 130 meters now. Christophe Contant saying that Igor Cops is alone on a power planet. So nice to see Rasmus behind him. Go, go, go. Rasmus Felbal responding well as we come over the small bridge and back onto the dirt. Speed dropping slightly. Rasmus and Cops side by side. Hours just tempered slightly for the moment. 3.7 watts per kilogram up. As I say that, Cops settles back to his 5 watt per kilogram pace. Now at 3 degrees, 3% slope. Igor's just eased the pace slightly. Rasmus just sitting in, getting the drafting benefit where he can. It's been that interesting, the racing. I've not even touched my coffee. And Christophe Contant giving a shout out for Henrik Mard as well. There's unfortunately we've not been covering much of the rest of the riders in this race because it's been so electric from Cops and Felbal at the front here. Boulanger, the gap's just slightly decreasing back to Boulanger there. Boulanger's now 85 meters back. I wonder if that's just the difference in the slope now that's making it a little bit harder for Cops and Felbal, but Boulanger on the slightly flatter section's been able to recover a little bit of that distances. We're up at 4% now. Cops keeping the pressure on, but 5.5 watts per kilogram. Felbal's heart rate down at 150. Igor Cops still up at 179, 180 there. Igor's, I would say, is running a little bit faster. A little bit nearer his limit than Felbal is. Heart rate's a very personal thing, but it does help just to give you a bit of an indication. Yeah, the gap now opened back to Boulanger at 240 meters, so I think it was just Looking like it was closing down slightly because of the change in terrain, that the lead riders are going up a bit more of a hill at the time. Simon, yes, I don't know what's happening further down the field. We'll drop back now while the pace is settled at front, and I hope that Igor or Rasmus doesn't do something crazy while the camera's not off them. Boulanger is in third position currently, and the gap opened up to the front riders of 230 meters nearly. Jeff Rooney leading the pack of the chasing riders with a good group of NZ Bro teammates in here. He's got Jeff Rooney, Williams, Haggerty and Herdal. We've also got Couliers and Drujon in here, Wouterklaes, Henrik Mard. Missed anybody out of that group. Strong group of riders that just been distanced a couple of early attacks to big gaps in the field. And we've got Anders Ostergaard, Persson and Gottlieb. Group of James Melville, Barnett, Holst and Tom Gakes. Sorry, not Tom Gakes in this group. Burchett. And there's Tom Gakes. Tom Gakes, Patrick Olivu and Sales there. Tom Gates just done, well, he did an article, he's done a follow-up article with Christopher Schrenker of the Munich, which you can find a link to from our Facebook page, the VCN Facebook page. Interesting article about dieting and virtual racing, which is something that well worth a read. You see Rob Miller and back in 22nd, 23rd position. David Brookhusen, 24th. And then quite a bit further back, we've got Soto, Hernandez, O'Farrell, J. Al, and then Espinosa. But Simon just shouting, go Greg. So, but Igor and Rasmus still locked together here at the front of the race. What's Greg's surname? Simon, I'll try and pick him out as we're going past again next time. With 11.1 kilometers left to go. Nicky Horgaard shouting, go ECKD, Henrik Holst Elstrom. Good to see a lot of you getting in touch over the chat, and I'm going to shout out to your riders, give them some encouragement. Igor Kops and Feldbal coming up to this punishing hairpin, and there's a good chance that Kops is going to make an attack here. Feldbal needs to be awake to this threat. He's known to attack on the climbs and then continue with the power over the top as Igor Kops opens up 8.2 watts per kilogram. Feldbal's responding, but the gap's opening up to Kops there. 9 meters, 10 meters, 11 meters. Feldbal just getting distance now, 17 meters up to Kops in front. Kops still at 11%, starting to ease. But his power isn't dropping, he's keeping the power on there as Feldbal distance is opening up. Feldbal only at 5.1 watts per kilogram. Kops up at 7 there. Opened a gap up of 77 meters in the blink of an eye. Felbal still in the battle. Up at 4 watts per kilogram. He's just playing out a little bit more than Igor at the moment, but the gap's opening up so rapidly as we're descending now. Igor been aggressive from the very start of this race. He was one of the first off the line. Kept on stringing it out from the beginning. Felbal now 100 meters back. "45 minutes into the race, 9.8 kilometers still remaining." Igor ups power up at 400 watts. Felbal 360 watts. Alright, 152. Just about a pixel or two of cops in the distance there. Boulanger 530 meters back. Gap to cops increasing, but we are descending now. Felbal, a very lonely rider at the moment. Drop back momentarily. Boulanger in 3rd position. Chase group. We've got Couliez coming across to him. Couliez has broken free of the main group and is closing the gap down to Boulanger. He has putting big efforts in here, 460 watts. He's broke free of the main chase pack. They're 100 meters back now. Here we've got Rooney, Williams, Mard, Drujon. Gerdal, for all those efforts he made, closing down, covering on the front group. Still in this pack. Getting a bit lively now. Breakaway of Liez on the front there has invigorated this group somewhat. Drujon just slightly gapped there. Liez still applying the power in front. He's 80 meters clear. And he's just about to catch his friend, his teammate, countryman, Boulanger. See how these two riders work together. Keep away from the chasing pack and perhaps scoop up Rasmus Felbal. Jeff Rooney on the front there, putting in some efforts now. Teammate Williams with him. Oh, sorry, it's Hjördal with him. Rooney, Williams, Hjördal on the front there now. Lifting the pace, working together. Henrik Mard. Not prepared to let them go though. Drop back, we've got Persson, Ostergaard, Gottlieb and Haggerty. Haggerty, the protected rider for NZ Bro. It's not his day today, unfortunately. Back in 14th position on the road now. Verchik with Melville and Barnett. And Holst been dropped from that group. Tongate and Sales. Back up, we've got 6 kilometers remaining in this race. Igor Kops on the front. Kops now 5.3 kilometers from the end. Belbal, second position, still pushing hard. I think it looking like it's a foregone conclusion on the winner and second place now. But we've got Drujon chasing in the third position. That group, that chase group, closed down Boulier and Boulanger as Drujon now pushes on in the front. This is going to be interesting. Third position, we've got Williams, NZ Bro. We've got strong showing of the NZ Bro riders here. Boulanger, Boulanger put in a lot of work in that front group and chased on for a good time. See Williams just at the back there. Drujon putting an effort on the front of this group, stretching it out. Drujon's still pushing. Opened up a small gap. Only 13 meters with a chase group like this. That's not going to stick. Kops still clear on the front. 4.3 kilometers remaining. Belbal, second position. 4.4 kilometers. Gap of 390 meters. That chase group is pushing hard. Drujon, William, Mard, Hjördal, NZ Bro, Boulanger, Claes, all in strong efforts. Claes comes through. Leave this group. lump in the road there, 8%. Place continues applying the power. Hard now on the front. Grouping. Eagle Copse, 3 kilometers remaining. Rasmus Felbel, 3.2k still to go. Tight group of Rooney, Williams, Boulanger, Grujon, Claes, Mard, and Couliez. 3 French riders, 3 NZ Bro riders. Will be strength in numbers for these riders now. Jeff Rooney takes the front. Back down the field, we've got Persson, Haggerty, Ostergaard, and Gottlieb. Then with a group of Melville, Barnett, and Verchik. Holst was in that group earlier on, can just see them in the distance. Pushing hard on his own, solo, 133 metres to the group in front. Tom Gates, Sales, and Olivu still riding together. Oh, sorry. My bad, Olivu has been distanced from that group. And with Rob Miller back. With Brookhuizen. It's coming to the crest of that climb section. Toto. Hernandez, Al, Farrell, and Espinosa. Climb back up to the front now. Only 2.1 kilometers remaining over this bridge. I was in that chase group going red. All the riders battling. Hurdal on the front. Brakes starting to appear. Gap to Rasmus is 400 meters. I don't think they're going to close that down. Or they're going to have enough pace to close that down. They're going to run out of road. Rasmus Felbal over the bridge. Round onto a descending section. Igor Copse now. Comes back around. Underneath the bridge. Only has 1 kilometer left to go to victory. Felbal 400 meters back and a further 400 meters to a rampaging chase group battling between themselves for this third position. .900 meters left to go for Igor Copse. There is some elevation just before finish line. Well, the moment we start to climb again. It's not the heaviest of percentages, but with this rougher gravel surface, it does take quite a bit of energy to get over it. Eagle Cops strong all the way through this race, pushing 5 watts per kilogram for a lot of the time. Hits this 10% slope. Now only has 450 meters left to go to the finish line. Some shouts coming in for Feldbal. Fantastic racer. Eagle Cups zips up his jersey. It's the tarmac and just has 50 meters left to go to victory. He's over the line. Rasmus Feldbal, 430 meters left. Takes a look behind. Looks once more. Checks how far away the chase pack is. He's concerned. Relax now. 90 meters left. Car drops off. Looks once more. Relaxes. Raises his arms. As you can see, the pack. Hjördal sprints. Hjördal sprinting. Jeff Rooney. Wouter came through. Hjördal. Drujon was so close. Hjördal, Rooney, Henrik Mard, Couliez. Williams further back. Dropped out of that group. Boulanger been dropped as well, distanced. So close to the battle for that 3rd position. Checking there, it was Wouter that came through in 3rd. Boulanger comes over the line. 10th position. And Nick Greenhalgh is United. Congratulations, some great racing went on this evening. Gottlieb, 11th position. Boulanger came over the line there in 10th. Comes under that iconic bridge. 1.2 kilometers remaining. If you enjoyed the coverage of the racing tonight, please do check out the VCN channel. We're on YouTube. We've got a page on Facebook. There's lots of events that we cover, and there's lots of events that we run as well. There's the Hot Crit series that we run, and with the help of Moon Riders, there's the Tuesday night crossover series as well. Obviously there's the VCN Team Time Trial series where you can hone your drafting skills, that you can make the benefit of the draft that's available on RGT, the very accurate drafting dynamics RGT employs. There's Gottlieb. There's 660 meters left to the line. And the person behind, can see him. And there's Ostergaard is not too far behind as well. This is the last climbing section really for this course. Gottlieb's managed to open the gap back up again. He's applied a little bit more power. Open the distance up to 100 meters now. And a person there quite able to capitalize on that. Gottlieb pushes on onto the tarmac. 200 meters remaining. Gottlieb comes over the line for 11th position. Sander Persson being chased down by Anders Ostergaard. Sander opens up a sprint. Ostergaard just a little bit too far behind. Persson over the line in 12th. Anders Ostergaard in 13th. Haggerty track rider with 2 silvers to his name. Juniors comes over in 14th position. And then we have a little battle going on between Barnett, Melville and Verchik here. Melville pushes. Melville, very strong rider. Up at 14.3 watts per kilogram there. Open the gap on Verchik. Verchik finishes in 16th, Melville in 15th. Barnett comes over in 17th position. And we've Holst. Still pushing hard. Over the line in 18th. Fantastic riding from all of the competitors tonight. So you see Tom Gakes. And some love on the chat for Feldball. Guys enjoyed watching the battle between Feldball and Kops there. Gakes managed to drop sails and Olivier over the line in 19th position. Sails. '20th. Sprint for the line. Olivier. First position. On that last little punishing bit of gradient. Up there. Olivo comes over the line in 21st position. Rob Miller, Team 3R. Rob takes part in a lot of the time trials. RGT World. Mateus Fishback is coming to. Lots of Puerto Ricans taking part. Where is it? For some reason, Soto rode very strongly in the nationals qualify, but I don't know why. I'll have to try and get in contact with Soto and see, but they seem to have had a poor start to this race this evening. They're not feeling the best, or may have had a technical, whether that be real life or virtual, I'm not sure. We'll try and get in touch with the team and find out what happened. And we're just going to see Miller over the line now. We can see just further back on the line, we've got on the road, we've got Back and Brookhuizen just seeming to be having a bit of a battle there. Yeah, there was quite a Mateus is just mentioned that it was in the ladies competition. There were quite a few Puerto Rican competitors as well. Oh, just a quick shout out for Kate Ouellette and John Story, who there's been an individual time trial race going on alongside the other events that we've been running for the VCN Championships, and John Story and Kate Ouellette were the male and female respectively winners of those events. So it's fantastic to see that they've taken part and done well. Miller now, only 600 meters left to go. And just further to Mateus's comment, that the riders taking part, the Puerto Rican riders taking part, all part of the same team. GA, I can't remember the actual full name of the team off the top of my head, unfortunately, but they're all taking part, and presumably their team have started using RGT as a training platform, so that they're all getting involved in the events around the RGT world. Rob Miller comes off the gravel section onto this much smoother, much easier to ride tarmac. Changes gear and cruises the remaining 50 meters to the finish line. Comes home in 22nd positions. We're back with Brookhuizen now. David Brookhuizen, who was level with Back and has managed to drop him just coming into that descending section. The auto braking hitting home there. Mike Lister giving a shout out for Rob Miller on the chat there. And we've not mentioned it actually so far in this event. David giving us a wave as well. Thanks, David. The riders, you may have noticed now and again when they hit into a corner, their power number in the top left hand corner of the screen goes red. The RGT platform applies auto braking in certain circumstances. One of them is being tight corners for the riders. It doesn't reduce the power that they produce, but it doesn't apply it wholly to the speed, so their speed reduces. And the power numbers go red to indicate to the rider that they're producing power that's being wasted. Again, as you get more used to the RGT platform and you ride it more frequently, you can get used to applying the power appropriately going around the corners, and you get a few moments of respite there. Ollie Payne just checking in on the stream there. Hello Ollie, thanks for checking in, thanks for watching. Ollie runs some group rides on the RGT platform. I think it's Friday at 6 o'clock. Ollie's group ride for Herd, and well worth jumping in, and well paced rides, very well attended. Now with 400 meters left to go. Third position. Sprints for the finish line. 9 watts per kilogram. Fantastic racing, David. And we're back. We're back in 24th position. Not too far to go now to the finish line. Lakotas of Day just giving a shout out. He's thinking about making the switch to RGT. Now, I'd encourage you to try it out. There is a very expansive free selection. You can join any of the events in RGT for free, any of the group rides, any of the races for free, and there's always a couple of roads available to try as well. So you don't have to make too much of a decision to try RGT. It's pretty easy to get involved with us. Back comes over the line in 24th position there. With Soto now, 4.5 kilometers left to go for Soto. Gone at an easier pace tonight. Yeah, we don't sell RGT. We stream their events, but with regards to cost, it's quite an easy one to say, oh, I'll try it, and you don't have to make a full-time switch. You can try a heck of a lot of it out for free. Soto pushing for the line now. Hernandez too far behind. Mike just giving a shout out to everyone that it's been fantastic racing. Wholeheartedly agree, there's been lots to keep interested in this race tonight. Soto, just a gap of 50 meters or so. Hernandez. 3.3 kilometers left to go. Just give a shout out to La Rue Francais Connecté, who have been streaming these events in French as well, helping to publicize them and share the events a little bit wider across the globe. Soto and Hernandez. And with Al. O'Farrell. There's Espinosa. Hernandez pushes for the crest of this climb, gets back to the wheel of Soto. On. Is obviously feeling a little bit stronger. 2.5k still remaining. I see these remaining two Puerto Rican riders home, Hernandez and Soto, and bring the stream to an end after that. It's been fantastic covering these events. Been really good to see the interaction and the involvement of the community, and so many new names coming over to the platform, taking part. Currently RGT is seeing a lot of growth, a lot of new riders trying it out and getting involved. I did mention briefly then there's the ability to join any of the group rides, any of the races on RGT. You can join them for free. You don't have to have a premium membership to do that. It is a good platform if you're looking to be a little bit more cost effective, or you're not using the platform too often, if you're not doing a lot of indoor riding. Good platform for that, because you don't have to have this membership cost sitting over you all the time. You're worrying about paying for and not using. David Brookhusen is just saying thanks for the event, for organising and covering it. It's been a pleasure, David. It's been great to have a lot of riders taking part and to be watching some great racing. Some really good battles have been going on the road. And it's coming under the bridge. 1.2 kilometers remaining. Soto not too far behind. We'll just clears the bridge there, 90 meters, or it's just a little less now, 70 meters. Soto's just pushing out a little bit more power at the moment. $900 meters still to go. A little bit of a lump coming up. There's pushes. Not willing to let Soto back to his wheel. Maybe a little bit of inter-team rivalry going on here. It's him 10% slope, but 5 watts per kilogram. All the major climbing done with on this course, and they're starting to descend now. $320 meters. Oh, less than 300 meters to go. We're onto the tarmac. Anders now lifts the power. 6.7 watts per kilogram, 370 watts. Pushing for the finish line. Finishing in style. 25th position goes to Hernandez. Soto eased off now. Onto the tarmac. Over the line in 26th position. We're just gonna name check the riders back on the road there. Davey's just commenting that it's 201 beats per minute. I'm presuming that the rider then, Hernandez, must have been topping out at 201 beats per minute for his last little final effort there. Yeah, it's a high heart rate, but I think they are younger riders, so probably capable of hitting that without breaking a sweat. As we see Al now with 3.9 kilometers left remaining in this race. As I say, unfortunately it's gonna have to just name check the riders and bring the stream to a close this evening, as Al looks like he's confidently taking 27th position there, dropping back to O'Farrell. Teammates have just come over the line there, Soto and Hernandez. .4 kilometers left remaining, 28th position. And then we have Espinosa, 29th position. I've been Riley Harvey. This has been the VCN Championships. I hope you've had a great race and you've enjoyed watching the stream. And we'll catch you on Thursday evening for the PRT handicap race. And keep an eye out on the VCN channels. We're on all over social media for new events and alternative events that we've got coming up. And catch you next time. Thanks for watching.